Everybody sit down and shut up, see? Shut up, see? I'm a 1920s gangsta, see? And I have my Jason Kelsey sweatshirt on, see? Because he's the best Kelsey brother, see? Any Eagles fans in the his house? Any Eagles fans in the house? Gray, white, green. Gray, white, green. I'm distracting because I actually got signed out of my Google Doc show plan. It's live! Politics Live. We're doing it live. Happy Politics Live Day, a.k.a. Wednesday, if you're here. I'm Alex Clark. This is pop culture without the leftist propaganda. We're here and we're queer. Just kidding. We're only here. We're not queer. Well, maybe some of you are. I would be shocked, but we're here. Britney Spears' memoir becomes the biggest celebrity memoir of all time, according to Britney. Conservatives are roasting a recent female college graduate who went viral on TikTok today for hating the 9-to-5 grind. That will be the spiciest part of the live today. I'm going to warn you now. Hailey Bieber just did a huge interview with GQ. I'm going to skim through that with you. Kylie Jenner announced a new clothing line this morning, and I'm going to tell you what I know about the 1989 Taylor's version vault tracks. There are a few spillover long sleeve shirts left on tpusamerch.com. So if you missed that, or this is the first you're hearing of it, get your long sleeve shirts, tpusamerch.com. And we're just going to get rolling. Today is a fast day. I will say hello to some of you. To Madeline and Julia and Hannah, Franklin. Megan is here. This is her first time tuning in live from Charleston, South Carolina. You know what that means. Megan has her Lily Pulitzer on. She says, I usually have to catch the episode later because my Bible study's at the same time on Wednesdays. So many of you say that about my Wednesday night choice. I just did this because I felt like middle of the week, it gives us enough days to get some good stories going. So I have enough to talk about. But, I feel like Friday nights is a horrible time to do this. You can't say Friday night we're going live because everybody has plans, and then Thursday nights is spillover. So really, this was the time. I mean, I guess technically we could go live on Thursdays before the spillover, but then I feel like this is special because then 24 hours in advance, you guys always get to know the hint of what the spillover is about for the week. So this was just my plan. If you don't like the plan, well, tell me. Maybe we'll change it. But I just thought Wednesday gives us some time here to get some good stories. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. tpusamerch.com for that spillover live, spillover long sleeve. Taylor says, hi, Lottie's here. Lottie is one of my favorite girl names, baby names. There's the shirt. There it is. It's kind of unisex. When I saw this design, I was like, and it's also unisex sizing, so it fits huge. So size down, and it's going to give you an oversized look anyway, very long because it is for men. So men can wear this, women can wear this. Super cute. I loved it, especially for fall. I love the font. I love the colors with the orange and the black and the cool little rose design. So yeah, drop in the chat what day you think live should be. Keeping it on Wednesdays, going on Thursdays. Meow, 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 meow. Crackhead energy, Alex, is coming out. I can feel it brewing in my bones. Britney's memoir is out and Justin Timberlake is so pissed off. Do we care? He's not happy at all with Britney Spears' book, according to Page 6. He has not reached out to Britney in the wake of the myriad of revelations in her memoir. Obviously, The Woman in Me, I believe, came out today, first official day that it is out. I mean, people have been pre-ordering it. We've had a lot of news about it, but today is the actual day that it is available. So you could probably pop into Target or Barnes & Noble or whatever and get it in person. Really, I always recommend local bookstores. Go there first. I say that as I totally ordered my copy on Amazon. But anyway, so Justin has not reached out to her about any of this, and I guess he's not going to because Daily Mail is saying there's nothing he can say to her. And that is correct. There isn't anything that he can say to her. I mean, it's out, you know what I mean? This was years ago. This is her version of the story. Now, if Justin is smart, Justin Timberlake is going to write his own memoir about all of the early 2000s pop culture days, and he's going to give his side to all of the things that she brings up. Justin Timberlake needs to partner up with AI immediately, get this book out, and surprise drop it the week before Christmas. That is what I would do. That's what I would do. If I was a celebrity publicist or whatever, that's what I'd be saying. This is the plan. we're going to drop our own book, and you're going to tell your story about the abortion. You're going to say that you totally disassociated because you were so upset about it, and that's why you were playing guitar while she sobbed on the floor. Like, that's all the things that I'm doing as like a celebrity PR person, if I'm going to spin this in his favor. Because what I do know is that Justin Timberlake was planning, I think in the new year, maybe announcing a new tour or something like that, or an album. It was something music related. It was supposed to be like a big comeback thing for him. And this has really ruined his public image and likability. And so they got to come up with something quick. And that is my suggestion. While The Insider noted that Britney Spears is just telling it from her point of view, Justin is not okay with it. Doing this book has given Britney life, and she really doesn't care who is offended by anything in it because it is what happened. She was there. She lived through it. No one can say anything. She has got this all out of her, and she's now moving on. I like that. Now, speaking of AI writing books, did she write this? Doubt. I mean, no, somebody else did, or AI, somebody and AI, or something like that for sure. Hannah says that her 3-year-old just spent the last minute saying meow and laughing after he heard you. That's right. Meow, 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 meow. The trick is you have to say whatever the sentence is you're going to say, but only do it in meows. So if I'm going to say it's pop culture without the propaganda every single day, I'm going to say meow, 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 meow. Sorry. I told you crackhead energy. It's gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be bad. In the book, Britney dishes on her romance with Justin, reveals that she had an abortion because he didn't want to be a father. She did not want to go through with it. She didn't want to get the abortion. It has haunted her ever since. Extremely devastating and very sad. And I think it's even sadder that knowing that in light of, in recent years, Britney has really she said that she's wanted to become a mother and things, and I can't help but think that's her way of being like, trying to get over this abortion or whatever. Is like, if I could have another baby, kind of in her mind, So that's very sad. But we know that that's the case, that women who have abortions struggle with higher rates of depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, basically every single emotional negative, mental health negative you could think of. It's quadruple for women that get abortions. And what's really sad is that Britney and Justin were very, very young at the time when this happened. And so that was his excuse. It was like, we're so young, we can't possibly do this. Saying that as extremely rich and famous celebrities who have every single option at their, disposal, and family and hired help or whatever. It's just a very poor excuse. And Kylie Jenner is she's a great example of a star who got pregnant very, very, very young, kept the baby, and did just fine. Kylie seems to be, from all accounts, a very involved, present, hands-on mother, from what we can tell. Gigi Hadid also, she's like mid-20s, but still, like this whole life, like we're so busy and we're too young, like we can't have a baby. It's a lie for anybody, but definitely them as well, as we know. And here's the other thing, like a lot of people are just roasting Justin. Like the whole thing sucks. She talks about crying on the bathroom floor. He's sitting there like ignoring her, playing guitar. It's very callous. It's very heartless. It's very cold. And I was kind of joking earlier when I said, like, if I was a PR person, I'd be saying like, well, I was just, disassociating or whatever. That actually really could have been the case. We don't know. The other thing that I want to bring up is that everybody is horrified. Two things with this that I think are very interesting. When the abortion news came out last week, everybody was horrified with Justin unanimously across social media. And I just thought, well, this is interesting to me. Why are you not defending him and him saying, well, I just don't want to be a parent, so therefore I shouldn't have to. And we're young, and so this is inconvenient for us. We shouldn't have this baby. I didn't see anyone, none of the pop culture sites, anyone on the left, nobody was defending him, the pro-choice crowd, saying like, well, yes, that's his right. Nobody was saying that, which I'm like, okay, so you guys always celebrate abortion and you love it and everybody has to, the right to choose when they want to be a parent or whatever. Now all of a sudden it's like, how evil, how terrible of him. This is so sad. Why is it sad? Why was it sad? Because it's a human being. We know that. So that's one thing that I thought was interesting. The second part is he is a lot older now, obviously, and he's also he's married and a father of two, now is several decades into the future. So it's like Justin Timberlake now, the husband and father, might feel immense guilt and shame over this decision. He might really regret it and feel sick over the fact that he did pressure Britney into this abortion and try to convince her that they didn't need to have this baby and all this. He might think and grieve about that child every single day. We have no idea. People, this has been a total lie that men are never affected by abortion. It's only about the women. The women are the only ones affected. Men grieve the abortions as well. They suffer from immense guilt as well. And I did an interview based on this with a woman who has an entire nonprofit helping men who have had abortions in their life, or their significant other chose to have an abortion without their consent. There was the Victoria Robinson episode. One of my producers, maybe you can tell me in my ear what season that was, but the Victoria Robinson episode of The Spillover is so good. And there's 100 layers to that story, but it's it's a fan favorite episode, so you should listen to that. So that's what I wanted to say about Britney. She claims that the book is the highest selling celebrity memoir in history. Simon Schuster have not confirmed that. If that is true, that's very interesting. I mean, Jessica Simpson's memoir sold so well, and that's my favorite celebrity memoir I've ever read. I'm very anxious to get this, to read this one and give you my thoughts. I've been annoyed that every single part of the book, it seems, has been basically tweeted. They're just every fun, interesting fact, everybody's just tweeting it. And I'm like, stop, I want to read it. Obviously, they've been doing that now for the last 5 to 7 days, and the book is just now in my mailbox right now as we speak. So when I get home, I'm going to get it. But it's dude, give me a freaking chance to read it. I hate that. I hate that about social media. Yeah, the abortion thing, I would drop a few things, but keep some of it. Don't spoil the whole thing. I would like your predictions in the chat of who wrote the book. And also, if you are a celebrity memoir reader, doesn't have to be a singer, any celebrity, any famous person, I would love to hear what your favorite celebrity memoir is that you've read, and give us some recommendations on that. Okay. This is where we're going to get spicy. There is a viral TikTok of a girl who just graduated from college crying about work. And it's really gone viral today because conservatives are roasting the crap out of her. Let's play the video.
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, my first 9-to-5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me forever to get there. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, I leave here, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till 6:15 earliest, and then I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. I don't have energy to work out. That's out the window. I'm so upset. Oh my God. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and people that drive to the office, you don't get off at 5. And I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but I literally get off, it's pitch black, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? How do you have time to, meet, a guy? I don't know. How do you have time for, dating? I don't have time for anything, and I'm, so stressed out. And I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional. But, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
So a lot of people are dragging her, calling her a brat. I actually think it's a huge mistake. I think it's totally missing the mark. Here's why. The fact is, the suck it up comments, the grow up comments, this is adulthood, welcome to adulthood comments from conservatives are so unhelpful, and they're missing the big picture on how important this viral video is, and the fact that it is viral, and a lot of women are watching this and agreeing with it and saying that she's right. Young women are agreeing with this video and saying that she's right. I do not care what anyone says. The majority of women the majority of women, not all, but the majority have an innate desire to stay home, nurture, and raise a family. The feminist movement pressuring women to join the workforce in massive droves has been a net negative to women, society, and culture at large. And they have been trying to indoctrinate us to think otherwise. And they've all been caught red-handed, essentially, as liars. Women were not, my hot take is, women were not biologically wired for the corporate rat race. This girl in this TikTok wants something better, as most women do, and conservatives are reacting to this in completely the wrong way. Instead of looking at this in the thousands of comments on a viral video, and all of these young women who are like, yeah, this sucks. Why do we have to live life like this? I don't like this. This isn't enjoyable for me. I'm so unhappy. Why am I so unhappy? Instead of conservatives looking at that as a wake-up call, like, oh, duh, there's a huge opportunity for cultural messaging here on how the feminist movement lied to women and why you should vote conservatively, they're just dragging her and being incredibly hateful and sarcastic and rude. There is a huge opportunity here to use this video to encourage women that there is another path, that we don't have to do this way until we're retirement age, that we will still be happy, fulfilled, and have a purpose without a cubicle or a corner office. And I think it's also incredibly important to note and make a point that she is making, I should say it's an incredibly important point that she is making, that the total amount of time that you're away from home when you're also including commute time is like an unbelievably long amount of time to be away from home. Her days are much longer, she's saying, than just a 9 to 5 when you're adding on commute time to and from work. Now, how many of us as women, you know, if we do have a family, we probably, because of that family, we're choosing to live outside of the city more than ever because of how crime is skyrocketing. And because we have a family to consider, we are wanting to live, obviously need a bigger house because you have kids, you need a bigger yard, all of that. So with all of that considered, you're going to be having to live further away from probably work. And think about that. Like when you're single, it's one thing, but think about all that time, not only at the office, the 9 to 5, but what she's saying, the time before and after work and the commute time, all of that time is spent away from your kids. All of that time is spent with kids with a different primary caregiver other than mom and dad, if both mom and dad work. And it's not only making kids miserable, we know it's making moms miserable too. And she's not even a mom yet, but her instinct is telling her something is not right with this. This isn't adding up. Her concerns are completely valid, and she's going through the thought process of trying to decide, was this all worth it? The years spent in college, the student loan debt, the feminist movement, all of it. Was it worth it? This is a young woman having an aha moment, and the conservative right, is taking this as an opportunity to roast her. Personally, the most feminist thing and realization that I've ever had is that we should aspire as women to be more than just slave wage cucks, is what I think. I think women should aspire to more. I think that women thrive less in corporate environments, 9 to 5 environments. I think that we were happier pre-industrial revolution. I think that men and women have different strengths. And I am sick of conservatives especially falling into the trap and the lie that we don't. And you're like, well, what do you mean? It has never been more obvious to me than it has never been more obvious to me how deep the tendrils of feminism go within conservative women till I got to this year starting to talk about the daycare subject. I know you're sick of me talking about it, but I'm not going to talk about daycare. I'm just saying, when I did those 2 daycare episodes this year of The Spillover, hundreds and hundreds of comments, some of them my own followers, some of them not, but some of them my own followers saying, well, why are you saying this to moms? Why is this all a warning to moms and not dads? What about the dad who leaves the newborn and goes to work? What about him? Because the role of moms and dads in the first 3 years are completely different. Mom is more important. Yes, mom is more important biologically for that child in the first 3 years. That is not convenient, but it is true. Stop trying to make everything about fairness. Well, why isn't this podcast about men? Number one, if you actually listened, don't even get me started on how many people make snap judgments on a 1-minute reel. And don't listen to the episode. Of course, we did talk about of dad's role and the biological differences between men and women and chemicals and all these different things and why a mom is more important in the first 3 years and why we're focusing mothers on the first 3 years. But so many people refuse to listen because they would rather not get their feelings hurt, so they won't listen to the frickin' interview. Some things are just not fair. Some things are not fair. Is it fair that you can't, that it's going to affect your child differently for you to work versus your husband? No, it's not fair, but it's just true. And we also would never expect men to want to, or we would never expect men to thrive necessarily just watching children 24/7. We wouldn't. It's insane because we understand there's just differences. There's differences in how we're made and designed and strengths and weaknesses and different roles that different parents play. I'm not saying dads are not important. They have unbelievably important roles in the whole spectrum of a child's life. The first 3 years, though, your baby needs you, especially in the first 3 months. I can't. And I will say this to when we're speaking of fairness and whatever, when it comes to men, to be completely honest, the American work culture is just BS anyways. We have zero work-life balance in the United States. And I don't think that it was actually supposed to be this way either, even for men. But, it all boils down to there is a myriad of issues that need to be addressed and picked apart. And I want more than anything for conservatives to be the side to start focusing on this. The left, here's the good news. The left is guaranteeing their own extinction, right? Everyone is becoming a eunuch or they're aborting future generations. So it's whatever. They're doing their own thing. They're not even going to exist in the future because of what they're doing. So let's take this as an opportunity. Okay, we have the best opportunity now more than ever because all of them are genderless eunuchs who aren't going to be able to procreate. So that's one thing. But we have the opportunity then with our future families and never have we ever had such a leg up in creating future conservative Christian families. That'll scare the left. But the left is guaranteeing their own extinction. So I want the right to start focusing on policies and culture changes that are really going to save future families, the culture stuff, conversations about birth, hospital births versus home births and midwifery and food and gender roles and medical freedom. This is all so much more important to me than absolutely anything else in the political fight. And so that's annoying to me. People are well, I miss the old politics. I'm well, I have gotten older. That was 4.5 years ago. You change, you wake up, your eyes become open to things. And whereas then, I am really caring about unemployment rates. Now I really, really care about this. So in another 5 years, there will be something else that I care about, as should you. As you grow and different things happen in your life, naturally, I would think you're not going to stay and, stand still and never develop any other different opinions or care about other things. I think that's weird. Anyway, that's my rant on that. Oh, I'm glad that lots of people are saying they bought the shirts. Olivia says that her work is looking at a 4-day work week. Alexandra, good name, says you are so right about the U.S. work-life balance. Ugh. I don't have any new stickers on my computer. I mean, these are the same I've had for a few weeks. Well, I did maybe this. I added Wisp. If you ever see Wisp reels on TikTok, he's like she is a sickly little stinky kitten at some like animal homeless shelter in Florida that's like always struggling to poop and stuff. And it looks like a little used Kleenex. And so that's a Wisp sticker. But I don't know if anyone knows Wisp. If anyone is on the Wisp train, I will be so excited. Yeah, little Wisp. You can easily find Wisp if you look type it in on the reels. Emily, do you know Wisp? The Eerie Fairy Tale says, yep, I've changed my mind about a lot of things over the years. This is what I'm saying. Alexa says, no, this is the best version of Poplitics. Thank you. Alexa can stay. Isn't it funny how the Alexandras and the Alexas and the Alexes always have the best takes? Taya says, I thought Wisp died. No, Wisp is still alive. And stop. Put some respect on Wisp's name. You got to find somebody on my team, find a Wisp reel of Wisp being a little stinky baby. Alexis says, I feel like my job is just to outsource work to other countries, and then people left in the U.S. are left to work overtime, accommodate to the schedule of people working in other time zones. Correct. Zoe says, I have 2 master's degrees, and I'm questioning if it was worth it. You up? Wisps. There it is. Can you see? Look at her, stinky baby. Look at the stinky baby Wisp. Play some videos. Let's just go down a Wisp rabbit hole. Yeah, just play them. There's no music or anything. I want you to hear the squeaks. And look at the little, see, when I said it looks like a little used Kleenex, Wisp always has a dirty face from eating food, and she's always in emergency surgery. That's not Wisp. She's always in emergency surgeries and stuff because she can never poop. So there's like a whole thing, like the whole internet is on the edge. Like, did Wisp poop today? Like the whole internet cares about this cat's bathroom schedule. It's so funny. You want a stinky treat? Stinky baby? The little like squeaks and pss, pss are just incredible with this cat. There is there's a whole little animal shelter or whatever that posts Wisp videos that you have to follow on Instagram. There's I'm gonna cry. I'm telling you, that's what I mean about Wisp. See, I don't ever want to get a pet, but like if I do, I want this. And it's like, how do you tell somebody this? Like, I want the ugliest, like rattiest, like disturbing animal you have. Like I want missing limbs. I want missing eyes. I want patches of hair gone. I want them to look dirty. I want them to look like a dirty little snot rag. And it's like, how do you explain that to somebody without them thinking you're crazy? But that's the only type of animal I would ever want. But this is such a high maintenance. See, all the problems that this cat has, I could never work, and I live too far from home. So I couldn't take care of it. Kate says, I'm feeling wispy. I don't like the naked cats. I just think they're ugly. I mean, they're ugly in not the good way. Like, Wisp is ugly, you know what I mean? But, like, it's not like a pretty cat. It's not a pretty cat, but it's, like, not, like, ugly. Like, it can't be, like, literal. Like, I like those chihuahuas that are always, like, you know, like, I like that a lot. A cute but cute says, I want a severely disabled cat. Yeah. But see, I have to like be in my stay-at-home mom era to get this. This will be my reward. If I ever get married and get to be a stay-at-home mom, then I'm going to ask for a Wisp cat. But I bought these stickers because the animal shelter, there's a whole sticker pack. I just put this one on. I can't have like 100 Wisp stickers. But I put this one on my computer, and then the stickers, they go towards like buying supplies and paying for medical bills for Wisp. Okay. Lottie says, I'm sorry, but girl, ew. No! I love it. And look at his stinky face. Okay. Hailey Bieber just did a huge interview with GQ, which I was very, very excited about. I love whenever we get there's something about like a written long form celebrity interview with magazines and stuff. It just still gets me going. That's my favorite, absolute favorite thing. So much more than a video. I enjoy reading it. Here's to me, top tier level content on the internet, Architectural Digest celebrity home tours on YouTube. And long-form magazine interviews with celebrities is my favorite thing. Imagine a long-form celebrity interview with Wisp. Hailey Bieber. So Hailey was asked in this interview, so what is the deal with you and Justin always dressing like totally mismatched, like you're on different planets? Why do you do that? And Hailey's response absolutely floored me because it is so insane. Let me find it here. I have to scroll through this big, long interview. The pictures are so good. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, here we go. The writer says sometimes it's as innocuous as the ongoing visual gag of Hailey and JB getting dressed to go out together, but they're attending events on two separate planets. Hailey said, it's so funny because I see so many people talk about this. First of all, Justin's usually dressed before me, but also he may want to wear baggy sweats to dinner, and I might want to wear a tiny little dress just because that's how I'm feeling. We can't sit there and be like, so I'm going to wear this and you're going to wear this. My response is, what do you mean, Hailey? That is every woman in the history of the world. Every woman tells their husband or their boyfriend, I'm going to wear this and you're going to wear this. What do you mean she can't say that? Like you're going to a red carpet event or something and you're not coordinating? They have the weirdest relationship. Like the thing is, I think they're good for each other because she is a people pleaser and she's so passive and she is so obsessed with him and she will like do anything to like make him happy and stay with him. He totally is the emotional loose cannon. I feel like he throws temper tantrums all the time. Like she's the one that keeps the relationship grounded and he always acts like a toddler psycho baby is my opinion, not knowing them and just guessing. Like, my opinion is he would throw an absolute hissy fit if she told him to wear anything besides frickin' Crocs and a sweatsuit to, like, a super high-end event. I just think he is such a brat. Like, none of that is attractive to me. Like, the whole, like, emotional volatility, is that a word, of him is so unattractive. That's just, like, it's like dating a woman. Being married to another woman. Yeah, some of you said he needed to marry a fan. That's exactly what it is. And that's why him and Selena, as much as they were so fun, that's why their relationship, I believe, was such a roller coaster up and down all the time. It was never going to last because he does need to be with a fan and he needs to be with somebody that's willing to basically, bow down and worship him and put him always first. And Selena is not going to do that. Selena needs that as much as he does. So that's why that would not work. I just thought that was the stupidest thing. I mean, am I wrong? Ladies, do you not tell your husband every time you go anywhere, church, a friend's house, an event, are you not coordinating your outfit or saying, what are you wearing? I'm going to wear this. You need to wear something like this. I just don't know any married couple or dating couple that doesn't do that. So for her to be like, well, that's just crazy. I can't say that. What? Kylie Jenner announced a new clothing line. She's calling it Kai. And that is spelt Khy. Very obnoxious. Hate the name. Because that's not how she spells Kai anyway. Like they would just write KY. So because her name doesn't have an H in it. So why would you call it KHY? That's not how you spell it. She announces it in like this long leather coat, trench coat get up with red high heels. And it's all releasing November 1st. She captioned the photo, "Meet Kai." The trench coat with zips up the sides retails for $198. I love the trench. The price is incredibly cheap. Very cheap, and it's a sick coat. Like, that is a sickening coat. She told the Wall Street Journal that the whole line is really inspired by her personal wardrobe, the different moods that she's in. She said all 12 items this first drop are priced under $200 and that the sizes will range from XX small to 4X. I would like to see more. First item we get, I'm into. I'm sure maybe she'll release a picture of a new item every day leading up to November 1st or something. But, I'm interested in this. She did like a line with Kendall, her sister, I think, for PacSun or something like that a few years ago. It was absolute trash. So that was horrible. I feel like that was like somebody else, coming up with the designs and doing it under their name for them. I don't really feel like it had a lot of Kendall and Kylie feel to it. So maybe this line will be different. The circumstance now I would wear that trench. Here's the thing. I can't wear that. This is what's really depressing. I feel like in the fall and winter months, a lot of times the coat is the outfit. Like, you never show what's underneath. The coat is the statement. And I don't really get to do that in Arizona because, well, at least where I am in Arizona, because I'm in Phoenix and it's like a desert. And so it's essentially summer or spring all year round. I mean, in December, like on Christmas Day last year, wasn't the high like 73 degrees or something like that? Like, it was beautiful. It's beautiful living here. I love living here, but it is mostly summer. And so I don't get to have a lot of these moments. Now, anytime I'm traveling out of state, I love making my coat the statement. And so that's what I would do with this. I would do basically what she did, do a sick heel, a sick boot. I would love that coat with really cool colored jewel pumps and some kind of see-through black pantyhose. I think would be really, really, really cool. And you got to do hair up, slick bun, in a top knot type of look with this, and it would be really cool. I would not wear this to any type of gala or anything like that. It's definitely like streetwear, walking around, running errands, things like that. You know what I mean? But not out to the bars and stuff like that. That's what I would do. Emily agrees, 100% the coat is the outfit. Lacey says, #slinging slasher coat. Facts. Based. Abby says, any more details on Sophia Richie's clothing line? You know, a good question. I forgot about that. Is there anything else? Let's see. Let's Google it really quick. Sophia Richie. Let's see if there's any more updates on that, because she announced that she was going to do something. Clothing line. Nothing really. It looks like a month ago, people posted, ooh, I'm going to send this to the team. Here, show this. I'm going to put it in this doc under the Kylie story. Open this up. So people posted, Sophia Richie teases upcoming fashion line with some Instagram photos. Let's look at these together. Ooh, so it's called SRG, Sophia Richie Grange. Oh, so she did an interview in August with Who What Wear and said that the aesthetic of her no date announced line is very my vibe. So she posted this, it's all neutral tones, like an all cream outfit. Oh, I love it. Oh, please. I am dying to know the price point of this line. Dying. I hope it's not as cheap as Kylie's. I'd like a little bit better materials. Okay, so that's exciting. So we have no date yet. So when we do get that, I will tell you. And if we get any more pictures of any items, I will tell you. All right, let's wrap on 1989 vault track predictions. So, for those of you who aren't Swifties, Thursday night, or technically Friday, midnight Eastern, basically when the spillover drops, also 1989 Taylor's version drops. And it's like, whatever. So here's my unpopular Swiftie opinion. I do not give a rip about the re-releases. I only care about the vault tracks. And I am the most excited. So people were like, what's your ranking of re-release albums? Like, what albums are you most excited for? I have not cared about anything except Reputation, Taylor's version, and 1989 Taylor's version because of the vaults. I don't care about teenage Taylor's relationship drama or whatever in vault tracks. I care about the moments where it's she's an adult and dating people that we know. And that's why the vault tracks are so much juicier to me on these albums. Now, I'm going to tell you what we know about the vault tracks on this. So we have a title, and then what is interesting is somebody leaked who the producers are on the tracks. Just bear with me. So the big song that everybody is really anxious to hear is called Slut. And it has quotes around it and an exclamation mark. So it's like, slut! You know what I mean? Yelling it. Slut! Everybody in the chat. Slut! It is produced. This is what's interesting. It is produced by Jack Antonoff and Patrick Berger. Patrick Berger has produced a ton of songs for Charlie XCX, Robin, Carly Rae Jepsen. So he is a dance track type of guy. He's a very upbeat, he did that Icona Pop, I Love It song, I believe. So think about that, yelling and fast pace and stuff. So that is exactly, in my mind, how I'm picturing Slut is going to sound. Then we have Say Don't Go. This is Taylor Swift produced. I mean, Taylor's on all of these, but this is Taylor and Diane Warren. This is juicy because Diane Warren, she is a songwriter, producer, Oscar nominee. Billboard wrote earlier this year talking about her. If you've ever attended a wedding, prom, or karaoke night, you definitely know her songs. She has written songs and produced songs for superstars like Cher. She wrote, If I could turn back time, I'd be a turtle dove. I'm a turtle dove singing from above. That is Diane Warren. She's written and produced for Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Tina Turner, and Whitney Houston. This could be a belt track with Taylor, a huge belt track. I'm whoa, that's going to be really exciting. And also exciting because if she originally did this, what could have been the case of why it was left off of the original album is because maybe her vocals during the original 1989 era and now are totally different. They were a lot weaker. They were not as good. She has done a lot of improvement since then. You can really tell a difference on the 1989 original Wildest Dreams versus the re-record Wildest Dreams, which is already out. She has had so much growth as a singer. And I think they've worked a lot with her on that. And so maybe it was left off because if this is a belter type of song, maybe her vocals were just kind of weak. And she was like, this is going to get the axe. And then now that she's gotten re-record it, maybe it's going to sound a lot better. So I'm actually really, really anxious. I would say I am most anxious to hear Say Don't Go. And then I'm also really anxious to hear Suburban Legends. That's a Jack Antonoff produced track. So Jack Antonoff produced 3 songs. The other 3 are called Now That We Don't Talk, Suburban Legends, which I think is so cute. I'm really imagining lyrically what that could be about. And I think that sounds really cute. And Is It Over Now with a question mark. That's all Antonoff produced. So those are the other 3. So I would say I'm most excited to hear this Diane Warren song, even more than Slut. I'm anxious and curious about the lyrics to Slut, but I'm sure it's going to be some kind of feminist anthem or whatever, which is going to be whatever. But Say Don't Go and then Suburban Legends. Those are the 2 I'm claiming. If you are a Swiftie, I'm anxious. The 2 vault tracks that you are claiming for 1989 TV. There is a clip. So Diane Warren was on a red carpet and she was asked recently about what she's been doing. And she alluded to working on a song with Taylor.
I want to know what you're working on right now, because you're a very busy lady and you always have songs in the pot. And I think I want to say they're working with Adele. I read that somewhere.
We did some great songs, so we'll see what happens with them. I'm excited about that. I worked with Taylor Swift on a great song. I'm working on a lot of things. Like, I'm kind of all over the place, you know.
The Taylor album, she was telling me at the AMAs that she had already done 7 songs, and it was coming along a lot faster than she anticipated.
Yeah, I have no idea what. She probably. I don't even know what she's done. But I'm excited about the one. One that we did. It's pretty cool.
All right, so Jocelyn is in the doghouse because Jocelyn said, "Can Taylor belt? No shade, legit wondering, LOL." Jocelyn, have you listened to Don't Blame Me from Reputation? Listen to Don't Blame Me. I want you to do your homework, and then you tell us if Taylor can belt. Ashley says, claiming suburban legends, and what the heck? And is it over now? With a sneeze. Tissue. Ooh, what if Suburban Legends is sad? But you know what I think of? And this is what's interesting. Originally with 1989, I always was disappointed that there wasn't as much synth, that the songs didn't necessarily, it's like, yeah, that's her birth year, but I didn't get an 80s feel. But how 80s is that just phrase, that title, Suburban Legends. Think about like Stranger Things and stuff like that, like kids in a neighborhood riding bikes and like things like that, and like wondering like what life is going to be like when you grow up. That's kind of my guess on that. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, Jocelyn's going to do her homework. Don't blame me, Reputation TV, please. And for anyone else who's like, well, can she belt? Listen to that. Come back to me. Now, rumors are that Taylor is going to be headlining Coachella next year because she has a break in international tour dates at that time. Who is the source? Is it just trust me, bruh? Because absolutely no way. I absolutely disagree. I don't think that she would do this. If she is declining the Super Bowl, she's going to decline this. I think it's more likely that the break during that time is because she's going to be releasing Reputation Taylor's version. My prediction is that in February, she's going to announce Rep TV, and that the actual album will drop in April during that gap. That being said, like I said, my re-release album rank, the 2 albums that I give 2 craps about, not even Red. I didn't even care about Red Vault tracks. I cared about 1989 and Rep. I hate country Taylor, so none of the other vaults or albums interest me. I do not care about Debut. I was not a Swiftie until Speak Now, and I feel like because some of the Speak Now songs for being country tracks were a lot poppier. Like, I do not like You Belong With Me. I like Fearless. Love Story is fine. It's fine. It's just those are skips for me. Like, I just don't care about them, and I wasn't a Swiftie when You Belong With Me and Speak Now came out. In fact, I remember like yesterday in Louisville, it was like the same day Taylor Swift was coming in concert and Kelly Clarkson. And I remember in high school saying to somebody, yeah, I would rather see Kelly Clarkson than Taylor Swift. Can you imagine? I mean, I love Kelly, but like, I would not go see Kelly. I do not care about a Kelly Clarkson concert, but like, that's how I felt then. And then once Speak Now was released, 2011, that was my Swiftie album. That's what I was totally converted. I was reading the hints and the secret Easter eggs in the lyric booklets, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Like, being a Swiftie is really fun, like more than any other artist, Okay, so to close, are you ready? I need a drum roll. Are there like little drum emojis? You are so... The way I deserve like a parade for this week's spillover episode, everybody better be grateful, because I am so sick of everyone complaining. Why aren't you doing more true crime? Why aren't you doing... Number one, we ask, I've said this 100 times, I ask all the time for a myriad of different guests of different topics. I can't force somebody to do my podcast. So it has just happened that this year we have sent so many requests to true crime type of guests, and like everyone has declined. Either they don't write back at all, or they say no for any reason. It could be the fact that we're Turning Point USA produced. Some of them are turned off by that because then they're like, oh, it's associated with conservative, people. I don't want to do it. Some people just say no because they're like, not in a good place to speak about their trauma or whatever. There's a ton of reasons. But I ask a lot. They just haven't said yes, number one. Number two, I am very anxious to see how this episode does. And this is really the ultimate test. And you can tell all the little rat moles in the Conservative Facebook group that aren't on these lives, you can tell them that Alex Clark said, I don't want to hear any more complaints about true crime episodes if you don't listen to this. So I'm going to tell you right now, my true crime episodes are my least listened to out of all the subjects. My highest listened to are anything parenting related or health and wellness. That is just a fact. I'm not saying that means I'm not going to do them, but I'm going to do them less because you guys determine based on what you click on, what you interact with, what you download, what you share. All of that determines what I'm going to take my time and money and resources, and I say money, but the donations from Turning Point, that's what I'm going to put towards flying those guests out and making those episodes. If you guys do not listen to them, then I'm not going to keep doing it. So you determine, you drive the bus. You're like, well, why do you do all this? Number one, yes, I'm interested in it a lot right now personally, but also like when I do those episodes, those are my highest listened to episodes. So I'm going to do what my audience is telling me. So you guys can bitch all you want in the comment sections of Q Surf and be like, I miss the true crime, but you guys don't listen to them as much. And I know that part of that is because they're disturbing, because if I'm going in true crime direction, I'm going hard and I want all the details and it's really hard to listen to and it's freaking scary and awful. And I'm not going to do like some prancy ass true crime episode. So when I do those, the reason people don't listen, and I know this, is because it is difficult to listen to. Their listener discretion is advised, which the episode tomorrow has a listener discretion is advised warning. So if you are one of the people that wants more of these episodes, then share it and tell everybody in the Facebook group, stop complaining and listen to them. It's like I have more comments on things complaining, and then when I do what everyone asks, it's like crickets. It's so annoying. So if that keeps going, this is like the guinea pig episode. If this episode doesn't perform very well, I am not going to waste my time really trying like desperately to get true crime guests if you guys aren't listening to it. So that's that on that, a scolding. Now, that being said, true crime themed spillover tomorrow night. I am interviewing a survivor and retired FBI agent who is also a female agent. Not only are we going to discuss her own assault, she gives survival tips for us based on different scenarios, like if you're in a car, if somebody breaks into your house while you're sleeping, how to react to that. So she gives survival tips on all of those things. She also, which I thought was interesting, she explains why the cute colored guns that a lot of us like as women, she says those are the worst types of guns that you could use for self-defense. And her reasoning behind that I thought was extremely important and interesting. She talks about the rumors of terrorist sleeper cells in the United States currently and what you should do in a terror attack if you ever found yourself in that type of a situation. Her expertise as an FBI agent was gangs, violent crime, and terrorism. So she is a really good person to speak on that thing. And then also she's just super interested in the Idaho 4 murders and the Delphi, Indiana child killings. So we talk a lot about that. I ask her to explain those cases, what she thinks is going to happen with those cases, the motivation behind those cases, if we got the right guys, all of that. And that is going to drop anywhere that you listen to podcasts at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, or of course, you can watch them on the Real Alex Clark YouTube, beautifully shot. If you've never tried, watched an episode of The Spillover, it's really, really cool. We've really upped our game. The editing, camera crew team, they've just done an awesome job making those beautiful productions. So I always highly recommend subscribing to Real Alex Clark on YouTube to watch those. So it's a good episode because while, yes, there's a few scary parts, the survival tips are so important. And I loved hearing from a female agent some of those tips. I just thought that was really, really valuable information. And I don't think I've never done that on a true crime episode before, like actual tips on like how to survive. So, well, the stories themselves give you those tips, but I'm saying like specific instances of like if you're in a car and a gun's to your head and things like that. I really liked that advice. So very important. And I want everyone, somebody make one post, put in the Q Conservatives group and tell them the tea on here's the deal with tomorrow's episode in the true crime. Everybody has to be on board or they're done. Or they're just going to happen very, very infrequently. So I want somebody to give a warning so that everybody's prepared, and somebody do that for me, and then all of you guys can interact and tell them that this is their opportunity to show me. If you really want these, then this is your time to shine. Next Wednesday, Poplitics Live. Mark your calendars. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It is pop culture. Like this video, by the way. Thumbs up this video. Subscribe to this channel. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I am Alex Clark, and this is Poplitics.